Hey, you guys, welcome back to Storytime from my bedroom. You guys, I'm in the bed, honey. After I finish this video, I am going to bed. But before we get started, go ahead and subscribe to the video. Well, to the channel. Go ahead and give the video a thumbs up after you watch it, and go ahead and comment as well. I love the comments. Shout out to everybody that's been hanging in here with me and support me. I really appreciate you guys. So I thought about it. I said, what story am I going to tell today? So I said, you know what? Let me tell about my dating experience on this dating app. Now, mind you, I got divorced in 2014. Praise God. So I waited maybe about a year or whatever and decided I want to kind of sort of date. Let's see what the deal is. Now, mind you guys, I was super scared to like really date because I had been with him since I was like maybe 17. So it was off and on from the time I was 17 all the way until I was about 42. So that's like 24, 27. I don't know. Do the math. 20 some odd years with the same person and not really going on a official date. So I was not privy to all the dating rules and how things have changed. I went in as a young girl, kicking it with my boyfriend, and came out middle age, okay, in the dating scene. So I talked to my older son, and I was like, hey, his name is Lorenzo, but we call him G. I said, gee, I'm thinking about dating. What's up with the dudes now? Just kind of asking him or whatever. I don't even know why I asked him, but I did. So he was like, Mommy, the dating ain't like when you was out there. I said, well, what is it like? So he was like, Mommy, nowadays, and it's not for all men. He was like, Mommy, nowadays, the women, he was like, these women be taking the dudes out. Taking them out where? He was like, taking them out to eat. I'm like, oh, they go on a date. They go out to eat. He was like, no, Mommy, they take them out to eat and they paying for it. And I'm like, for real? He was like, yeah, that's what they do now. And I'm like, okay. And he was like, if you go to the show, she'll say, hey, you want to go to the show? And because she invited you or whatever, you pay for the show. And I'm like, and the guys let her do it? And he was like, yeah, that's, just how it is. And so I flipped it. I said, you do that? Because he's with my kids, my grandbaby's mom or whatever. I said, did you do that to her? And he was like, no. He was like, I pay or whatever. He was like, no, I don't do that. But that's what the dudes is on now. And I was like, well, that's some young kids. So maybe the older ones is different. He was like, dudes is dudes, Mommy. He was like, just be careful when you go out there, whatever, blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, ooh, I'm old school. Like, y'all, I'm just old school. Tell me what your dating thoughts is. This is going to be a good one. And for the guys that's on there, chime in. Like, are you comfortable with a woman paying for your meal? I guess if you've been together, if you go out and you may go Dutch or she may pay. I don't know. But initially going out, I'm, taking you on a date, like, okay, I don't know how I felt. I wasn't for it. I'm old school. I just am what I am. Honey, if I could be a housewife, I'd be a whole entire housewife because I'm tired of the strong black woman. I'm tired, honey. My feet swollen right now, y'all. I'm tired. So, anywho, I was hesitant about dating now because of what my son had just told me. But then to you guys is another side. So I go to church, so like I'm a Christian, right? And it's unheard of to go on a dating website. But so we believe in a scripture that says, I think it's in Proverbs, when a man findeth a wife, he findeth a good thing. So it is frowned upon for a woman to like pursue a guy or to ask a guy, like, I guess on a date, because he's supposed to find you. Well, if you're going to find me, I need to be out there in them streets. I need to be out there. So only thing that I would do when I was divorced was, basically come home, go to work. Of course, somebody can find you at work. A lot of people at work date or what have you. But he's not going to knock on my door. No man is going to just knock on my door one day, boom, boom, boom. hey, you're my wife. How did you find me? So I need to be out there. So my mindset was, I need to be out there to make myself available. Yeah, see what's gonna happen or whatever. It could happen. eHarmony, y'all, it could happen. So I was scared to go on there, so I didn't discuss it with anybody, but it was just a thought that was kind of in my head. So one day I'm talking to my cousin. So she was like, girl, she always got somebody. Y'all, she always dating somebody. So she was on this app, and it's called Plenty of Fish. Now, I don't know if they still own POF now, but it was called POF. And I said, look at God. He did feed people with fish. Ha! This is my sign. And Peter and them were fishermen of men. Men are fishing. Let's go on Plenty of Fish. You see the collection, y'all? So she was like, you just go on there, create you a little profile. This little hair right here. Go on there, create you a little profile or whatever. Put your little cute picture up there or what have you. And, whatever. And I said, well, did you date somebody? She was like, I done been on like 2 or 3 different dates, from this little app or whatever. She was working 2 apps, y'all. She was on that one, POF, and another one. I don't know what she was. I said, okay, then, sis. She gonna get her some meals, honey. So I said, okay, let me go on there. So y'all, the whole time I'm logging in, normally when I log on to something and upload pictures and videos and stuff like that, I have my son, my younger son, help me. Well, you can't help mommy with this one because I'm pulling out me some little pictures. But I didn't want to, oh my God, I didn't want to put like no nasty picture like, because then you're going to get what you're looking for, okay? So I put some little, nice little pictures on there, respectable pictures, hoping that would help. Whatever. So I put it on there and I started getting some little dings. Hey, I think it was like you got a match or something like that, or somebody's interested in you. So for maybe the first week, it was a whole bunch of good morning, good morning. I said, boy, these the most good morningest men I know. Good morning. Give me something more than good morning. So it was good morning. How are you? How long you been on here? Da 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 da. And it's like, okay, well, let's engage. This is how it goes or whatever. I'm nervous. Every time I log in, y'all, I'm peeking around thinking somebody watching me or one of the church people gonna be on the app with me. And be like, Sister Sherry, is that you? Girl, we looking for me. We was praying for husbands. We here. So I'm like, what if somebody leaked my photo or see me or something, whatever. So it was after that I got over the fear. So I'm all on the little thing like, good morning, what brings you here? How are you? Da da da. What's your interest? All of that different stuff. And so, some of that stuff really didn't go nowhere. So one of the guys, you guys, told me, he said, he was in Cincinnati. Now, for some reason, I don't know who in Dayton, but Dayton got a whole lot of single men. Everybody, either they really are single or they just like to mingle, honey, because Dayton has a lot of brothers that's seeking love, honey. Everybody named Mama was from Dayton, Ohio. Okay, shout out to Dayton, y'all. So, the one guy, he was in Cincinnati. So he's like, hey, I work at such and such. And I'm like, okay, I know where that's at. Come pull up. And I get my lunch break at 9:30. Excuse me. Is that what they do? Me and my son didn't discuss this part. You want me to get in my car, and at this time, gas, was kind of high. I don't really know you. Got a couple of 3, 4 good mornings. And you on lunch break? We just going to, at 9:30 at night, we're going to sit outside the parking lot on lunch break? Nope, I watch too many crime shows, okay? True crime. You know how much danger takes place in the daggone parking lot? Secluded, dark parking lot with an unknown man. Can you see me stuffed next to a spare tire in the trunk of my car? And I'm like, no, I'm not going to be able to come meet you because, first of all, I don't know you. And I'm coming to no random parking lot. And I was like, did you want to go, maybe go get something to eat another day? Oh, no, I was going to see if you was going to pull up. Not about that. So I ran that by my son. My son was like, Mommy, he ain't trying to go on no date. He just trying to get people to pull up. He trying to Netflix and chill. And I'm like, Netflix and chill. Now, I had Netflix, y'all. So I'm like, what's Netflix and chill? He was like, Mommy, oh, my God, just stop. I was like, boy, I'm looking for you a stepdaddy. Quit playing with me. You know your raggedy daddy ain't about nothing. I'm trying to get you a stepdaddy because you always complain about how I didn't really support you fully for football. So if I get remarried, you can get you a stepdaddy. He can toss the ball with you. Mind you, my son like 30 years old. So I told him, I said, what the heck is Netflix and chill? He was like, Mommy, Netflix and chill is where a guy comes over to your house or you go over to his house, y'all watch Netflix and y'all chill. I was like, so you cooking the food and stuff for them and they just sitting? He was like, yeah. He was like, when they ain't trying to spend no money or whatever, they just Netflix and chill. I said, bro, ain't nobody coming in here sitting up on my couch. Y'all, I don't think I'm for dating because I got too many restrictions and too many hang-ups. Am I the only one, y'all? Am I like, be honest with me, but like, Sherry, you is being particular. Am I being a little bit too particular? I ain't think I was, but I don't know. So, I don't know. And guys, y'all out there Netflixing and chilling. Okay then. So I was like, okay then. So he just good morning some more, and then I had some more good mornings. Now it was this other dude on there. This was a light-skinned dude. Now we were supposed to go out to eat. We were going to go meet up like in Westchester area. So I'm like, okay, well, let's look for some restaurants in Westchester. And so I'm looking for restaurants in Westchester, and I was like, I don't want to shoot high. You know, I ain't trying to break nobody's pockets because I'm just not running that game. They'll think you're running game if you go, you know, trying to get the most expensive. So let's hit in the middle. So I forgot what restaurant I picked. And so he was like, okay. And he was like, good, because that's cheap. That ain't too much. I can do that. And I'm like, you really gonna text me that? You know, like, send that? Okay. So he kept saying, send a picture over. And I'm like, I got plenty of pictures on my profile. What you talking about? And so they forever want pictures. And so I'm like, okay. So I send no picture like this, y'all. I ain't stupid. I know what picture you want. I'm not sending you that picture. We ain't even went to go get nothing to eat. I ain't sending them pictures, bruh. So that stuff be in cyberspace. Honey, no. So we never went out to go eat. He kept pressing about pictures. And I was like, you keep pressing me about pictures. He was okay. He was okay. I got my preference. I really do have a preference. Guys, do you have a preference? To be honest, I like dark-skinned men. I do. A shout out to my light-skinned brothers. But I like dark-skinned men. Honey, you can be black as his hair. Shoe polish. Just does something to me. Black, ooh, girl. Ooh, yeah. Let me get back to the story, y'all. So he was like really bright, looked like he could cross over. He was all right. But I don't know what it was about him that didn't jive with me. It wasn't so far as the light skin part. That was a part of it. But it was some other little things that just didn't. You know how you just have like little red flags that's just sitting there like, I don't know about this one right here. So he was like, I was like, you send me a picture. I said, you keep asking me for pictures. You don't have that many pictures on your profile. Send me a picture. He sent me this picture, y'all. This fool in the bathroom in front of the mirror. You know, going like this. Y'all, you gonna send that picture? And he had like a little beer gut. And I'm like, you look like a little busted can of biscuits, bro. Grand biscuits. The big biscuits, not the regular small little biscuits. You get back the big biscuits. I'm like, you send me that picture? Now I know good and daggone well you want me to send you some sexualized picture, a sexy picture, and you're gonna send me this picture right here. And I'm sitting there, I was like, okay. And I'm like, dang, this is. I guess I thought younger guys would want pictures. These guys, you guys were middle age, like 45 and up, 50 something years old, and okay, I guess the old men want pictures too, but they were just as nasty as the younger dudes. Child. So then I end up this one dude. Now he was good looking. This guy was like big like Terry Crews. He was brown skin or what have you. He was a bouncer, good looking guy. So he was sending pictures. Well, not sending pictures. I'll take that back. how you doing? He could conversate. And I'm like, ooh, he can conversate besides good morning, baby. I said, okay then. So he was like, yeah, I used to live in Cincinnati or whatever. And I was like, okay. He was like, I used to, be a little bouncer or whatever. And I'm like, okay then. And he told me the name of the club. And I'm like, okay. So the club name was Annie's. So I think Annie's is closed now. I don't know. But my son used to promote for Annie's. So I'm like, okay then. I'm like, cool. So he was a big stocky dude. He was like, how you doing? I'm like, I'm fine, whatever. Da, 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 da. I like your pictures. I like your pictures too. Good look, you're beautiful. You're a good looking guy. We just vibing back and forth. I'm like, okay, this could potentially be something. He lived in Dayton, y'all. It could potentially be something. He was like, you want to come up to Dayton and come to the club that I work at and you can have a nice little time. And I'm like, well, I can't make it. He wanted me to come that day. That particular day, I was in Mason up at the mall shopping, honey. And I'm like, well, I definitely can't come up there this weekend or whatever. But that would be, maybe that'll be something that I would want to do. And I'm like, but then I'm thinking like, I don't even do clubs. So I'm like, oh God, this is just not good. I'm like, okay, then we're not going to do the club. So a good thing I was busy because I'm thinking, I don't want to be in a club. And then I'm not trying to watch you work. Like if I'm trying to get to know you, I'm not going to come to your job and just stand there and watch you frisk people coming into the club. So I'm like, okay, then. So we just vibe back and forth for like a whole week or something. It was like maybe a week or two. And he kept mentioning that he worked in Cincinnati before. And I'm like, oh, okay, then, well, let me see whatever. So I knew my kids were like club heads. They were going to the club. And so my younger daughter, who lives upstairs from me, I went and asked her, I said, hey, you've been to Annie's before, ain't you? And she was like, yeah. I said, it's some guy. Because I didn't tell the kids that I was on POF. My son knew I wanted to date, but he didn't really know what I was trying to do. So I told her, I said, I've been on POF. She was like, Mommy. I was like, girl, yeah. She was like, how is it? I was like, yeah, it's okay. I said, but it's one guy, I've been talking with him or whatever, and he seems pretty cool. She was like, for real? I said, big old buff dude, looked like Terry Crews type buff. She was like, what? I said, but he said he was a bouncer at Annie's. She was like, a bouncer at Annie's? She was like, you got a picture? And I'm like, yeah. And so I showed her the picture. Y'all, she said, that's the nasty bouncer guy that be frisking all the girls. She was like, Mommy, he tried to give me his number before. I said, oh my God. I said, oh man, I can't kick it with you. You trying to kick it with my daughter, even though it didn't go nowhere. It's just the point of it. I said, I am not meant to be dating you guys. I could not believe it. So by the next day, I said, oh my God. So I sent the picture. Take this back. I sent the picture after talking to my daughter over to my son. Before I sent it to him, I asked him, I said, gee, I said, do you remember a bouncer that worked at Annie's? He was like, it was a couple of bouncers there or whatever. How you know him? I said, he a guy that's on. I said, remember I was talking to you about dating? He's a guy on POF. And he was like, I know you ain't on POF. I said, boy, shut up. Quit being all loud. Nobody need to be in my business. He was like, Mommy, get off of there. I said, boy, shut up. So I was like, if I send you a picture, can you recognize him? He was like, yeah. So I sent her the picture. Like, oh, that's so-and-so. I said, oh, my God. He was like, yeah, he nasty. I said, Lord, I got the nasty bouncer guy, y'all. I said, well, it's over for him. He's like, yeah, dude nasty. He used to be out there on all them girls, bruh. I said, oh, man. I said, never mind. So the next day, me and the guy, he texts me, good morning, da-da-da-da-da. And I'm sitting there like, I don't even know how to tell this guy, like, dude, I am not on you. You done try to get on with my daughter, and you known for being Mr. Nasty Bouncer guy. So you stays in the bouncing position so you can bounce up on somebody. I don't have time. Y'all, so then, next thing you know, he texting saying whatever, and I'm like, yeah, da-da-da-da-da. He sends me a picture of him sitting in the car. He was like, you going to send me a sexy picture? And I'm like, no. And then the next thing you know, the next thing that comes up is a picture of him with his tongue hanging all the way. Looked like it was hanging down here, y'all. I could be exaggerating, but that hanging down here, y'all. This is what he looked like. Y'all see that? A whole cow lick. I said, bruh. You can go on POF and you can block people. I went and blocked him. And then about a couple of days after that, I got a couple of good mornings for some other people. The dude for the parking lot dude wanted to sat there and good morning, was you gonna come by my job today? I said, let me get up off of here. Yeah, I got up off of there and that was the end of that. That was the end of that. But after all of that, I ended up linking up with this crazy dude that was 10 years younger than me. Ooh, Lord, but that's a whole nother story. Oh, that was a wild time, y'all. You guys, I don't know if you guys are dating, if you guys are married. Give me some tips, because this stuff is crazy. I ain't listen. I don't know where they at, where they looking at. I don't know. Maybe my husband done get lost somewhere, y'all. He just need a GPS. If y'all see him, send him my way. Tell him I'm down here in the net and tell him to subscribe to the channel. Because I gives up, honey. I gives up. But we'll talk about the wild time I had with the... I said, Lord, am I a cougar? Was a cougar on Noah's Ark and it was I? You guys go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. Give the videos a thumbs up. Leave me some comments, y'all. Let me know if you're out there in the dating scene and what is your experience. Because, honey, these streets, I don't know. I don't know, y'all. I may get me a couple of cats when I move. A couple of cats, a little dog, a little shih tzu or something, and just live my best. Take up some crocheting or something, live my best life. Y'all, I'm going to crochet me some sweaters and then come on here and tell y'all story time with my cat sitting on the shoulder. You guys have an amazing day, and I'll see you next time. Peace.